What's up, guys? Here's your week 7 update. Today we're going to talk about Kevin, who won the league again with CJ Uzama and the Colts defense, WTF. And then Roe trying to repeat as 2020 loser.
No. Wait, stop. We've been listening to this guy all season long with his just uninterrupted monologue updates, and we're sick of it. We need a difference in opinion. We need some confliction here. So for the first time ever, we're bringing a dual commissioner weekly update. So
that's right.
What do we got?
Today it's halfway through the season. I don't know if y'all realize that. We're after week 7's done. There's 14 weeks this year. So what we're going to do is we're going to review every team at the midway point. So, because he wanted to review my team, and my team is the top of the table, and I wanted to review his team, and his team is a little farther at the bottom of the table. He is going to review the top teams. I'm going to review the bottom team. So why don't you start with Mr. Prestige Worldwide himself,
Jono, my man. Dude, you've been crushing it this year. Everyone knows it. It's almost out the gate. I mean, you haven't been let up. You just now started getting some losses, but you've still separated yourself from the pack. Kudos to you. Losing your second round pick in J.K. Dobbins hasn't had barely any effect on you, and you're just dominating the league. So congrats, my man. Welcome back. I'm glad you decided to come back to the league. You're showing everybody up right now. Keep doing your thing. Just to review your team a little bit, looking at your team, you got Big Mahomes. He's been struggling the past couple of weeks, but he was the number 1 QB just a couple weeks ago. He's now fallen to that number 4 spot. But then you got King Henry right behind him at the number 1. And man, I tell you, at 187.5 points, he is a whopping 60.3 points higher than the number 2 running back. 60 points. I mean, over 7 weeks. I mean, that's damn near 10 points a week over the second best running back. So kudos to you for passing up on McCaffrey, or actually, he had number 3, so it was McCaffrey,
then Cook,
then Cook, then Henry. So kudos getting him in the third overall pick. But then it doesn't stop there, right? I forget which round it was, but it was down in there in the rounds that you got Fournette. He's sitting at the RB10 spot. Even in Gordon, I mean, you got him way down there. He's at the RB18, so you still got a solid high-end RB2 for your third running back. You got Mike Williams blowing it out as a number 1 receiver at the number 9 position. Godwin's doing his thing, still barely outside that number 1 at number 14. And the list goes on, man. Your team is just stacked. I mean, you got Sanders doing his thing, and he's playing like a number 1. If you take out his first and second week, and you look at what he's been doing since, take off the bye, you average those points down, he's playing like a number 1 receiver. So you're just absolutely loaded at almost every position. Gronk's coming back. I think he's going to be a top 5 tight end rest of season. The only weaknesses I see with your team, man, is the Broncos possibly. They had a good outing, but then they played the 3 worst football teams to start the season. I'm not sure if they're going to be. That might be a point of an interest of you improving that. Maybe make a trade with so much depth that you have on your team. But hey, man, you only got 3 wins last week, brother. So don't start slipping now, man, because this league is vicious. Just as fast as you can rise up is just as fast as you can fall, man. So just stay on it.
Yeah, he's got a good 10-game lead on the second place guy, but I think that he's got better things to come. Godwin should be better now that Antonio Brown's on crutches.
Yeah.
And Mahomes is not going to do this.
He'll bounce back.
He's going to bounce back. So, I mean, you're definitely going to be in the playoffs, and he's going to be right for the championship this year.
For sure.
There's no doubt in my mind.
With losing your second round pick, man, I just can't believe you're doing as well as you're doing, man. So,
impressive.
Moving on to number 2, we got our defending champ, Vic. After the draft, man, I told everybody, I said, man, you got the best team in the league, and then you took a huge blow, I think in week 3 with losing McCaffrey, so that was a big hit to you. But even after week 7, your standings are pretty good. You got the number 1 quarterback, the quarterback that I should have drafted that was sitting there in round 6 or 7 when I drafted Rodgers. Brady was there, and I passed up on him. I've been regretting it ever since. He was up above my rankings, but I still chose Rodgers because of his previous year. And that was a big mistake on my part, but kudos to you for having the number 1 quarterback almost halfway through the season.
Roger just threw a touchdown, by the way.
Oh, hell yeah. There we go. So you got McCaffrey coming back. I think, this game's all about playoffs. As long as you're in a position to make the playoffs, man, I think you're obviously going to do that. and it's all about positioning yourself for that. So if McCaffrey's going to be back well before then, I think you're going to be in good shape. Honestly, I think you're my pick to win the Super Bowl again. I think you could be a back-to-back champion for sure. I'm willing to board bet on your behalf, brother. That's how much I believe. You got Henderson at number 14. Solid high-end RB2. And then you got some solid receivers. I mean, Jefferson isn't doing his thing that he did last year. Jamar Chase is kind of still in his thunder this year. But he's still doing really good. He's projected number 7 wide receiver rest of season, but he's sitting at number 16 right now. So he's got a little bit of improvement. Thielen needs to stop sharking those touchdowns for him, man. And then, DJ Moore, man. I've always loved DJ Moore. It's good to see him come up to that WR1 position at number 12. So he's doing great. A.J. Brown broke out last week. So that's what we're used to seeing from A.J. Brown. Julio Jones is on the waiver wire. I think somebody dropped him and he got picked up. But, I mean, A.J. Brown's a receiver there. So some weaknesses I think that you could possibly improve on your team. You got tight end Dallas Goedert. It's great that Zach Ertz got traded to the Cardinals. So Goddard's going to get some more touches. But I'm just not sure about that Philadelphia offense. So that could be an opportunity sitting at number 13 overall on week 7 with Goddard. And I'd say defense is a good weakness for you. So that might be something that you might be able to look at streaming. But man, streaming defenses in this league, when people are holding one, some people are holding 2 defenses. Man, that may be your Achilles heel if for whatever reason you were to see a pitfall. Any comments there? What do you think about Vic?
Michael Thomas is still on his bench too. I mean, if that guy comes back and he's a wide receiver 2 or 2.5, even he's just going to add to your depth, or you could trade somebody now and improve that defense or something. But yeah, I could see Vic in the finals.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's definitely making the playoffs because his team should get better. DJ Moore, his talent is so incredible, but his quarterback situation scares me. I think that Christian McCaffrey on the field is going to help all those things. So, looking good. You just got to hope Tom Brady doesn't break down, which I don't think he is going to be this year. But, make sure his brittle legs don't snap or something.
Keep at it, man. Hey, I like those, getting our commissioner to do those 100-to-1 ratio bets, man. Keep that up. Let's catch them. Let's catch them. All right, so moving on to number 3, we got our two-time champ Gage, the opinionated Gage. We love him. So here's something that's cool, Gage. Looking at the manager stats, you guys can kind of go into, I think it's team or players, or just kind of look through the settings and you'll see manager stats there at the subsection, and you can kind of see where how good of a manager you are as far as what you start compared to what CBS says to start, how you conflict when you go up against that. That's hey,
decline.
Just decline my wife's phone call.
That was Vic.
Oh, was that Vic?
That's why I did that.
Hey, it's normally my wife. Vic.
That's why I did it to the camera.
Your ears are ringing. That's weird. That's weird. All right. Anyways, Vic, apparently you had something to say about my review already. But anyhow, Gage, man, what's cool about what you've done with your team? What was it, 60-something points that he got? Roughly around 60 points that he got. So, Gage,
making the ballsy calls.
You started players that 4 times where CBS said that other players were going to do better, but you said no, these players are going to do better, and you were right all 4 times. You took 4 risks, you were awarded 4 times, and it got you 60 points. I mean, that's huge. 60 points over 7 weeks, that's huge. I mean, that's a huge differentiation between winning a bunch of games and not when you're facing 11 teams every week. So, but looking at your roster, man, golly, I mean, I say it every time I talk, but man, where your team would be without the trade rate is another thing. The fact is, what happened?
4 spots below, just like where mine is.
You got Murray at number 3, brother. The midget. I know he's 5'10", but he looks like a midget on the field.
He's QB number 3.
He's QB number 3. He was 1. There, He's been bouncing back and forth. QB number 3, the leading MVP candidate, in my opinion.
Oh, everyone's opinion.
Number 4 for running backs, you have Eckler, who's doing great, especially great in a half PPR league. And then what's really standing out is your Jamar Chase pick I think it was in the 5th round or so that you grabbed him. Great pick, number 2 wide receiver overall. All he does is catch bombs. It's incredible. You got the 2 bomb catchers actually with Jamar Chase. He's already breaking my boy Justin Jefferson's rookie season record for yards. Already taking the lead on that. And then you got the other bomb catcher with Tyreek Hill at the number 3 spot. So you got the number 2 and the number 3 wide receiver both game changer, high octane, high ceiling players with high floors even. So kudos to you on the wide receivers. Some weaknesses I see on your team. Your running backs, losing Kareem Hunt to IR, you'll get him back for the playoffs, so that'll be good. But he's still going to be competing against Chubb. If Chubb gets rolling, Kareem Hunt could see a reduced role as he gets back into it and heals from that injury, or they could delay his return if Chubb is doing really, really well. So you got to look out for that. Lockett, he had a hot start. Man, he's streaky. Loss of Russell Wilson. Who knows how he's going to return with that broken thumb or finger, whatever he did on his throwing hand. So that's a problem. And then you're tied in and DST. And then you got some depth issues. So you got some real strong, bright highlight spots, I think. But you also have some areas of opportunity in the tight end, running backs, DST, and then overall bench depth. If you take another injury, if you hit some of these bye weeks, you could see a struggle, which I think we saw you get when you and Shane tied, that second to last area. You definitely have the capability, but so far so good, man. You're sitting at number 3 in the standings, so congrats.
Except for right now, when Kyler Murray has a whopping 2.4 points in the third quarter. At least Aaron Rodgers beating that. He had that one touchdown.
I think y'all should do a rest of season board bet, Hurts versus Murray. What do you think? Maybe give him 20 points?
I never said Hurts was going to be more than Murray.
I mean, come on, you're talking shit about his quarterback.
No, I'm not. I said right now he has 2.4 points. He's going to win the MVP. Okay. No, I made that trade because of Mixon and McLaurin. All right, who's all right. All right, is that enough about dickhead over there?
Yeah.
All right.
You got anything to say about him? Are you good?
Huh? Oh, Gage?
No.
Oh, no.
All right.
Fuck that guy.
All right. Moving on to douchebag numero uno.
I'm gonna get a
/ numero dos co-commish Shane can't even stand here while he hears his team being reviewed. That's how embarrassed he is. Doubt if he comes back during this review. But hey, here's those first few teams all had a top 2 positional ranking. Our commissioner has a top 2 positional ranking. It's not a quarterback. It's not a running back. It's not a wide receiver. It's not a tight end. It's not a DST. Oh, wait, it's his kicker. Way to go. That's going to win you your league. Everyone above you has a number 2 in a legitimate positional ranking. Your number 2 ranked position is a kicker. So kudos to you.
Wait, it's not DST?
Hope that works out for you. That's number 5 with the Rams. But I will say I doubted your pick. First of all, picking a second quarterback. Second of all, trading Murray. But Hurts, man, dude, he started out a little slow, but those legs are getting him points. He's doing well. He's ranked number 5, QB number 5. You think about all the QB talent that's out there right now: Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Brady, the Buffalo's quarterback Allen. All of those guys. Hurts is in there at number 5. There's tons of talent all up in there, and he's number 5. So great job. I think he's gonna do well rest of season. I think just with the rushing yards and the rushing touchdowns that he's gonna get alone, that's gonna help elevate him to stay up there in that top 6, 7 position. He may not hold 5. Maybe he could do better. I don't know. But looking down, you get your number. You do have number 1 running back with Mixon. So you did out of that trade. You did get a number 1. Sitting right at the bottom though at number 11. And then it's kind of bleak from there. Saquon, he was on my do not draft list for a reason. He's a tease. He always has been. The talent is there. He just can't stay healthy. And even when he comes back, I'm not confident that he will stay healthy. Plus the Giants just suck ass. So good luck with that one. And then you got Javonte Williams, which I can't believe he's an RB2. He's number 23, so he's almost an RB3. Yeah. But you have him. So you got some weaknesses and depth from a running back perspective. I think you're good on that high-octane Bengals offense with Mixon. He should be good. You got Scary Terry at number 13, so just outside that WR1. And then not shortly followed by him at number 15 wide receiver position at CD Lamb. So 2 number 2s, just outside the number 1 box. You got Pitts, who's at number 7, but honestly, man, I think Pitts is going to end up being the number 2 tight end rest of season. He's just, hell, he could be the number 1. Kelsey's been kind of, he's been good, but he hasn't been what I thought he was going to be when I drafted him first round. Pitts is looking great. You got the Rams doing their thing. Weakness, I'd say depth and then really just game-changing firepower. Outside of Hurts, there isn't really anybody that I see is going to consistently put up points. Maybe Mixon, but it seems like a more pass-happy offense with the receiving cores that they have. I think they challenge the Buccaneers as the best receiving and passing in the league, in my opinion. So that's going to be the big thing is the high ceiling firepower to hit some of these top seed studs that we've already reviewed. So I'm not going to let you comment about your team. So we're just going to skip right down to the next one.
You're not going to say anything about my Buffalo running back duo,
Zach Moss
and Devin Singletary.
Yeah, the one that's been riding your bench all season.
I started once,
and probably will continue to ride your bench.
One of those fuckers get hurt.
Yep.
Not both.
All right, and then Seth, man, dude.
Ramrod,
Team Ramrod, man. You are sitting at number, what is that, 5? Or is that 6? Yeah, it's 5. Sitting at number 5, man, that's awesome, dude. I mean, I told you before the league started that I just had a feeling that you were going to win this year. And if you talk to Vic, when he won his championship, Vic barely slipped into the playoffs and ended up winning. I think you could be the dark horse that wins. It's just a gut feeling I have. But looking at your team, man, you got Josh Allen at number 6, but that's really not fair just because he's already had a bye week and he's been averaging almost 30 points, if not more, a game. And a lot of these teams quarterbacks haven't had bye weeks. He really should be number 2 in my opinion. If you kind of add 28, 30 points to his team to his score. So I really think that he's a lot better than what showing at number 6, but even number 6 really great. And then your running backs, they're good. I mean, I don't love them just because of their situation. Chubb could be great if he can come back soon enough and have enough time before Kareem Hunt comes by. Gibson's been good, not great, but he's sitting at number 15. Chubb at number 16. Evans is doing a lot better than what I thought he was going to do. Sitting at number 8, wide receiver. Landry, you took some injuries with Chubb on the Cleveland Browns. Actually, both their Browns, man. Landry being hurt. You did really well. Number 2 tight end. Really, with Andrews though, it was really. I feel like it was just like, was it one big game or how many big games does he have?
He has one big one. I think one mediocre one. Yeah, no, just one big one.
Yeah,
a 36-pointer.
Yeah,
I mean, he put up 13 points in one and 15 points in another. But that passing game is just not what it's getting better. But he's spraying the ball out.
Yeah.
To Marquise Brown this year, which is the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And Bateman's coming up, which. Your dad picked him up, but I'm kind of jealous. I think Rashad Bateman's going to be the real deal. So they're just spreading the ball more.
Yeah. Last but not least, on my top 6 of my final team that I'm going to review, we got If You're Not First, You're Last, Team Kevin, the Ricky Bobby.
Right there in the middle. Just
with the cutoff sleeves, just, if you're not first, you're last, Talladega style Kevin. I mean, look, guys, he's won, I think, more weeks than anyone, if not tied. He's got 2. I don't know if anyone's got more than 2, but that's a problem. So he's got two wins this week, and he's won once before, and I think he's gotten second once as well. So he's got 3 really strong finishes. But every other week has been either last place or right above last place. So he knows it. We talk about it. I know it. Everyone knows it. But hey, man. Boom or bust, right? That's not always a bad thing, especially when you're playing against 11 teams, which is why you see him in the top 6. So reviewing his team, quarterback has been a big weakness, and I don't know who it was. I think it was that dropped Burrow this week. Do you know? Anyways, they dropped Burrow, and that was Kevin's number 1 weakness, and he was trying to work a trade with somebody for a quarterback. And wasn't working out, and someone dropped Burrow, and it kind of fell into his lap. That was his biggest weakness, and now he's filled it. So guys, look out. Kyle could have a little bit, or Kevin could have a little bit more consistency. Now that he's got a quarterback, because Tannehill just wasn't cutting it for him. Streaming Sam Darnold. I mean, the dude was desperate, but now he's got a solution.
Who did cut Burrow? I mean, Burrow has not been under 20 points but once all year.
Yeah. I forget. I don't know if it was Ricky or. I don't know.
Probably Ricky. Yeah. It's a very Ricky-ish thing to do.
It's a Ricky-ish thing to do. Dropping Julio Jones. Yeah. Renfro.
Yeah.
But you got your number 9 running back, wide receiver / receiver Patterson. Number 20 and 21 at Gaskins and Jacobs. But your receivers are really good. Devontae Adams at number 5, Metcalf at number 7, Antonio Brown has been a big surprise. He's still at number 20, but he could end up being a lot better. And then great pickup with Knox. Knox sitting at the number 3 spot on that high octane Buffalo Bills offense. And then number 4, Colts, which is another huge pickup. So good job on that. So yeah, keep up, picking up those good play, in-season management and the waiver wire. It's obviously working out for you. Should add some consistency and keep you on the top of the standings.
And guess who your boy Rogers threw the touchdown to? Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb
on Kevin's roster right
hey,
now.
If I don't win this league, maybe I'll win $1 million. I'm looking pretty good after this update with that pass. So
You give me
tracking that
$1,000
too.
odds, you do not want $1 million. All right, moving on along to number 7. So now we have the teams that are right outside of playoff contention, but not too far off. Because like I'm talking about number 7, my boy Chris Langan with critical Jamar Chase theory. He's only 2 games away from Kevin in the number 7 spot. First interesting point, Chris has not made a single waiver wire claim all season.
Hey,
he's conserving his picks, man. He's conserving his claims.
that's either pure laziness or just complete faith in saying, fuck you, I made my decision on draft day.
This is my team.
And this is my team. That's my quarterback.
So, but still, with no waiver wire activity, he's averaging 122.39 points per week. Just so y'all know, the average of the entire league is 124.29 points. So 2 points under the average, which makes sense since he's just slightly under the midway point of the standings. Most difficult thing for him is deciding which of his top quarterbacks to start each week. But he's nailed it almost every week, which is really impressive. If he wouldn't have, he would not be in this position. We're talking about Stafford and Herbert. And other than like week 6 or something, where he lost like 20 points because he started one over the other, he's gone through and nailed it every single week. That's difficult to do. I've tried that strategy before where I've drafted 2 mediocre quarterbacks and I just say, I'm just going to play the matchups. I always end up picking the wrong one. So far, he's doing well. That's why he's doing so good. So, yeah, it was week number 6, which was his worst week, and Stafford scored 20 more points than Herbert was on his bench. Cooper Kupp, man, hit in a big way. What a pickup. I mean, he was a 5th-round pick, and you just nailed that one. Alvin Kamara has been up and down because of that new offense. No Drew Brees. So he's got a QB1. He does in there between Stafford and Herbert, but he has to choose the right one every week. He has the wide receiver 1, who could be the wide receiver 1. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna.
I mean, the guy's just going off. He left. Actually, it's one of the things that's hurting you right now.
Yeah, Robert Woods
is
who I was expecting to.
He has an RB1, Alvin Kamara, in theory. I think he's in the top 12, isn't he?
Yeah.
And so that'll hold him up for a little bit, but he's gonna struggle if he doesn't continue to play the waiver wire, dude. And you got to fill those positions. You got to fill your spots and your holes. Also, bro, Juju's out for the season. Get him off your roster. At least cut him and put someone on your bench.
Chris is the type of guy that's like joins fantasy leagues because he just likes to party and have a good time from one night, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm out." But I still want to talk shit and trade. But yeah, don't ask me to do anything more than that. I'm too damn busy.
All right, that's our boy Chris. Everyone loves Langan. That number 7, doing well this year, man. Doing well, picking it back up. All right, number 8 is our veteran Lane. Big purple helmets. He has some quarterback woes to start the season because he really struck out. He picked big rapey Ben Roethlisberger and Trey Lance as his quarterbacks.
Stuff.
He did snag Kirk Cousins after like week 3 or something, and Kirk Cousins has done very well. I don't know if he's going to keep it up. I think Kirk Cousins is even a top 12 quarterback as it stands, but if Thielen keeps on doing what he's doing and Jefferson picks up to what he was doing last year, I can see him staying in the top 12, but Kirk Cousins, that offense doesn't always flow through him. It should be flowing through Dalvin Cook.
I think he'll finish 10 to 12.
He could.
Just the offense is really good. I mean, even their third receivers. I mean, I bleed purple. I'm trying not to be too biased on it, but yeah, I think Kirk Cousins would be good.
But even having a 10 to 12 quarterback in this league is going to be difficult to make the playoffs.
True.
Because it means you have 10 quarterbacks that are ahead of you.
Yep.
Now, 2 of them might be on the team that's above you, but we'll see. Aaron Jones has been good. Monstrous week 2. 4 touchdowns? He's already scored 1 tonight.
Yeah.
That guy's just a touchdown machine. Calvin Ridley is a problem. I don't think it's permanent, though. I think that Calvin Ridley does well when he has someone like Julio Jones to pull coverage away, and now there's Kyle Pitts. So I see Calvin Ridley doing a little bit better as long as Matty Ice can step up his game.
That's a really good point.
So when Kyle Pitts, as he emerges, he's going to draw more defense and should open up some avenues and lanes for Calvin Ridley. The guy's just too talented not to be good. So he might be good for you going through the season. Deontay Johnson stock went up because Juju's out for this season. Did you hear that, Chris? Yeah. And so I think Deontay Johnson is going to benefit there. DeAndre Swift, wild horse to be. I think he will be a first-round draft pick next year, and a wild horse to be top 6.
That's a bold prediction.
I think that he could do it. If he keeps on getting the passing downs that he has been getting from Goff, and Goff keeps on dumping it down to him, I think that DeAndre Swift could be not only a top 12 running back, but he could be in the first round, in the conversation in the first round next year. And Noah Fant just needs to live up to his potential. He needs steady quarterback play. He's already done some things this week, but the kid's just talented and good. So we need David Montgomery to come back. And then your only hole is your quarterback, which you could have a steady Eddie quarterback in Kirk Cousins. Listen to this lineup. Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, Calvin Ridley, Deontay Johnson, and David Montgomery as flex. Right there, that meat of your team is outstanding.
It is good.
As long as Montgomery comes back and healthy and gets the type of work that we think he should. That alone can get you into the top 6, in my opinion. Anyways, I think that you have an outside chance to make the playoffs with those guys. We just need your DST and quarterback to be addressed, and who knows?
Well, I mean, he's got the number. Well, here's the thing, though. He's got the number 1 and the number 2 DST year to date. He's got the Cardinals. He's got the
Bills.
The Bills.
That's right.
So yeah, I mean, he's got the DST on lock.
Yeah,
so
he does.
Honestly, what Dad, what you need to do is trade one of those DSTs, because I think you might be able to get something if you're looking to get a quarterback or something like that. Doesn't Chris have 2 quarterbacks? Doesn't he?
Chris has 2 quarterbacks and needs a DST.
Yeah.
Look at us making trades.
Look at that. I mean, we're going to deny it, but go ahead in a minute.
Fucking do that. That was our idea. All right, and right after that is your son. Your son is right behind you by 3 games. Zach, my friend, you are 6 games out of the top 6 spot, so that is 1 winning week away, assuming everyone else loses their game, though. So, averaging 120.19 points a game. So right about 4 points less than the average. We talked about how important quarterback is. Zach took a risk on Aaron Rodgers. I think it was a good risk. He's currently sitting at quarterback 9, but Zach wanted him to be quarterback 1.
I did.
I knew he wasn't going to be quarterback 1. Everyone in the room knew he wasn't going to be quarterback 1. Everyone on ESPN, CBS, NBC, and every other fantasy channel knew he wasn't going to be quarterback 1. But Zach does whatever the fuck he wants. And so he drafted Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know if we checked the score yet. He had like 8 points in the third quarter, but we'll see how that goes. That's going to be a big factor.
I mean, look at his game log. He's got high 20s, low 30s in every single week. He had one bad week where he had negative points, and that really pushed him down in the standings. And then we'll see what he does this week against a good Arizona Cardinals defense. But that 1 week really killed him. So
he should do well. I mean, he's definitely got the skill. We know Tom Brady has showed us that age doesn't really matter if you're the right type of quarterback. So he's not going to have the MVP year that he did, but it's definitely not what Zach wanted.
No.
Yep, I say he surpassed 30 points in weeks 2 and 6. Mm-hmm. But still nothing spectacular. You're talking about the Mahomes and the Josh Allens, and even Stafford having a 40-point game, and Kyler Murray in the 40s. So yes, he's doing it, but he doesn't have that top-end firepower. I will say the one thing I like about Zach's team is that you can just stick your top 2 running backs in that slot and just not touch them for the rest of the year. Last week was rough because they're both on bye. Robinson and Harris.
Wait, hold on. Did you say Robinson? Isn't there like a pre-recorded video about Robinson is not Robinson this year?
That was when ETN was not hurt.
What?
Yeah.
ETN?
Yeah.
He before the draft. Remember when Kevin
It was
drafted?
before the draft, yeah.
No. On video like 2 weeks ago, you said something about Robinson being not Robinson and shaming me. I'm just throwing it right back at you. Robinson is a top 12 running back. I don't give a shit.
Videos.
It hurts. It hurts, goddammit. No, top 12. So kiss my ass.
Robinson will be the same Robinson he was last year, and so the problem with these guys and Harris, they're on shit offenses. Now, every year there's at least one running back that finishes in the top 5 that's on a bottom 10 offense. I don't think there's ever 2, but even if you don't have 2 RB1s, you're probably going to have an RB1 and RB2 in those 2. So just start them without thinking. As long as they don't get hurt, they're going to be fine. Kelsey. What are your thoughts on drafting Kelsey in the first round?
I mean, in hindsight, if I had to do it again, I wouldn't. I would have taken Tyreek Hill, probably. Kelsey's not doing terrible. He's the number 1 tight end, and he's number 1 tight end by like 20-something points. Mm-hmm. But 20-point delta at the tight end position is not, what you draft for in a first-round pick. You need more than 20-point delta, in points. In hindsight, he's not doing as well. Mahomes isn't doing well. But, man, it's all about the playoffs in this league. For me, I got to get there now. I got to worry about that. I've been in the top 6 all season long. I just fell out with a bad week. I'll get back in there. Kelsey, I think he'll turn things around. We'll see.
And now to the reason why you are the number 9 team in the league. Your wide receivers. Cooper. Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase just left Robert Woods and T. Higgins in the dust. They said, nope, this is my game. This is my team. I'm going to score all the fantasy points. You can't have any fantasy points because I don't have the fantasy points. And they're both on your team. Yeah. Now, that could turn around.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase is a young, rookie wide receiver. And, Cooper Kupp, I have no idea. Maybe if Robert Woods just squeaks the wheel a little bit more.
Board bet. T. Higgins will have more points than Jamar Chase this week.
But this week?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who are they playing?
I don't know. Does it matter?
I'll take that bet for the rest of the season.
Well, no. All he does is catch 80-yard touchdowns.
I've already maxed out on board bets.
That board bet goes out to anyone in the league. If anybody wants it, let me know.
Anyway, Brandon Cooks has been okay. He's a gamble. Bad team, inconsistent quarterback play. You're going to have a hard time in your flex position and in your wide receivers for the rest of the season if they don't step it up. They could turn around. They're all talented, but I think you should consolidate before the trade deadline. Also, the Steelers. I remember when you picked them, I came outside and ran outside and said, what the hell are you thinking picking the Steelers in like the 9th round or something? 10th round. Anyway, after I picked the Rams because they were all hurt. And I think they're sitting at 5 right now.
Something like that.
GST 5.
They're projected second rest of season.
So that's not
CBS.
It's not awful. That's not awful, but it definitely wasn't what you were wanting again.
No.
Picking them that high. Okay. Anything else about your team?
No, we're running along on time.
Okay. I think you're going to be like 0.3 points in the 7th spot at the end of the season and not make the playoffs. I think that's been pretty funny.
Board bet?
I told you I'm maxed out on board bets. All right. 2020 loser, a.k.a. Coach Rowe. Other than big games from Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott in week 1, I don't think this is going to be a repeat of Rowe's 2019 championship year. Even though the Cowboys are doing well. We always say that if the Cowboys do well, Rowe's team does well. If Dak Prescott gets hurt and the Cowboys do bad, well, then Rowe's team does bad. And we saw perfect examples of that in 2019 and 2020. The difference is the Cowboys are running the ball a shit ton right now. They're not relying on Dak Prescott like they did in 2019 or in the first 5 games of 2020. And so the emergence of Tony Pollard has brought even more balance to that offense. So yes, you're going to do well when the Cowboys do well, but I don't think Dak Prescott is going to be throwing for 45 passes a game like he was. Dude, you have 2 top 6 tight ends right now. Hawkinson and Schultz.
Trade fodder.
Dude, go trade Hawkinson. Schultz is actually ahead of Hawkinson, which is kind of funny. But I know you about your Cowboys. So go trade Hawkinson. Just keep Schultz because Hawkinson, people are going to want Hawkinson more anyway. Wide receivers, I mean, on paper, they're really good. Stephon Diggs and Amari Cooper. But Coop is being overshadowed by CeeDee Lamb right now. Everyone kind of said it was going to happen, and it's happening. And Diggs just is not the target hog that he was last year. He was wide receiver 1 last year. He's wide receiver 27 right now. 27 as it stands. Dude, Stephon Diggs has as many touchdowns as his brother Trayvon Diggs.
Is that true?
Yes, they each have 2.
That's
Cornerback
crazy.
for the Cowboys. They each have 2 touchdowns. Like, go line up that kid, in the wideout position.
That's a funny Thanksgiving conversation.
Yeah. His other issue is that your only 2 running backs. So I know Edmonds already scored tonight, but that's a gamble. It was his first touchdown all year, and James Conner is really sniping all of his running backs. Who's his other?
Cobb just got a second touchdown.
Are you kidding me?
Anyways.
Damn it, Kevin. But anyway, Rose got Taylor, and he should do well, but your running back number 2 is going to be in question most of the year. We'll see how it pans out for him. All right, Raider Rick, manager Ricky, at number 11. He's like a lesser version of Rowe. but his team just sucks more.
You know who Ricky reminds me of? He's like strangely similar to like Uncle Rico from like Napoleon Dynamite. Like washed up, sitting in like a trailer in the middle of nowhere, and he's like, "You see that mountain over there? I bet you I could throw to it."
Yeah. So, I mean, it was way worse. He's narrowed it down to 3 Raiders now. He's got Waller, Kenyon Drake, and of course Derek Carr. I can't dog on you for Waller. Obviously, he's one of the best tight ends in the league. But we're gonna see what your team's about without those guys this week because they're all on bye.
And you know what? Balls to you, man. As far as just being in last place, I think you came up to second to last place, and you're like, you know what? Fuck you, Kevin. I'm gonna beat you. Here's a $100 board bet. So sorry if you had that in there, but that was
I didn't.
Dude, I love it, dude. Double down.
Okay.
Double down.
Did Kevin actually agree to that board bet?
I think I watched it. I was there when they made the board bet.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I only saw one side of it. I saw someone talk about it on the.
Oh no,
chat.
Kevin fully accepts. Kevin, go accept it if you've made it 38 minutes into this video.
That's awesome. All right, Ricky, you got Dalvin Cook, but your team is really lacking the superpower that it needs to, actually get to the playoffs and win a championship. If your team was a dynasty team, I would say you need to trade Dalvin Cook now and start rebuilding. But it's a redraft team.
Trade Dalvin Cook to me.
Yeah, purple boy over here. Claypool and Chenault just are underwhelming. Maybe that turns around with Juju getting hurt. Did you hear about that, Chris? Juju's hurt after the season. But again, those guys are on some bad offenses. They're actually on the same bad offenses that Zach's running backs are on. But you don't have a running back 2. Kenyon Drake is not your running back 2. That's a problem. You have Band-Aids. You've played the waiver wire. Unlike Chris Lincoln, you have Khalil Herbert and Dearness Johnson. But those are like 1 to 2 week guys. Maybe Herbert a little bit longer. He's got Damian Williams sitting there taking some of his share. And they're not going to be good options because Montgomery and Chubb are coming back because they're not out for the season like Juju is. You're going to have a hard time this week because you got Tua and all your Raiders are on bye. So you need David Carr to finish as a top 5 quarterback. You need it to happen to make the playoffs. You need Darren Waller to finish as the top 2 tight end. These things are not out of the question. It's possible, but I'm saying these are a must for you to have a shot at the playoffs. But you know what? Ricky is a super nice guy.
He is.
He's a really, really nice guy, and you got that going for you, bro.
Hey, drop Julio Jones and drop whoever the fuck you want, man. But you're a nice guy. You're a nice guy.
I had to say something nice about him. And then number 12 at the bottom of the table, the last remaining team in the untouchable tier.
Again?
You are in a tier of your own, my brother, and that is the untouchable tier. That is not a good thing. You've scored almost 12 points less than the league average every week and 30 points less on average than Jono per week.
You know what's crazy is I don't think that he's like Corey. I don't think that you're bad at fantasy football. I mean, you've been playing it longer than I have, and your drafts aren't terrible. But man, you have the worst fantasy luck. You have the worst luck. Lamar Jackson was stellar, and then now he's not, and it's just because just the worst luck, man.
But you know what about Corey? He is hands down my favorite brother-in-law in this whole league.
Because he has Zeke.
No, because he's the only brother-in-law in the league. All right, so you got Lamar Jackson. I've said it before. Your team's going to live and die by how well he does. If he does well, your team's going to do well. If he doesn't, your team doesn't have a whole lot to hang on except for Zeke. Lamar's sitting at QB7 right now, but we wanted Lamar at QB3 or higher. You got Zeke. You are right there in the middle of Debo's breakout year, and you have him because you got him from Kevin. And Kevin, I remember Kevin saying
for Mitchell,
for Eli Mitchell, and I remember Kevin telling me, "I cannot believe he took that trade." And now I'm like, "Well, you look like a dumbass because Debo is one of the top wide receivers in the league right now." The problem is you don't have a running back to really to speak of it all. You're playing Booker, who's just small handcuff. Barkley. We gotta wait to see what Clyde does when he comes back from IR. And again, you're not taking advantage of our IR rules. He could be on the bench or he could be in the pool right now. You could have replaced him with someone to help you out. He's just sitting on your team on IR. Thielen isn't elite anymore. He's scoring touchdowns, but Allen Robinson is just a bust. There's nothing that guy can do. He's just taking the year off.
Dude, Corey's been an Allen Robinson fan for as long as I can remember.
Well, he was very wrong this year. So, but here's what I did. If you take Corey's team and Ricky's team and you put them together, this is what happens. You have Lamar Jackson, you have Ezekiel Elliott, Dalvin Cook, you have Debo Samuel and Chase Claypool, Darren Waller, you have Marquez Callaway as your flex, and the Ravens the DST.
So, do you still make the playoffs?
I think they don't. I don't think they do. I think that they are the 6th seed, maybe the 7th.
Yeah.
I think they're the 7th seed, but I think that team I think we should just do that and let that team compete.
Yeah.
And it could be like the Ricky Raider Georgetown Stormtroopers team put together.
Hey, well, we talk shit about everything. Kudos to everyone that's done well and done draft. We talk shit, but hey, we welcome the shit talk back. It's all in good love. We love having you guys in the league. We wish you guys all the best of luck. Keep in it, keep fighting. Have Ricky Quinones Stipe cojones, and put those $100 bets. Be in it to win it, and keep chasing it, man. And keep the shit talking coming. Come back at us as hard as we came at you guys.
Yeah,
we love you guys.
Speak it up on the Discord channel, and I'll tell you what right now. For every person that sat through this whole video, direct message us the password. What's our password going to be? What's our secret phrase?
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon. Direct message us on Discord, Blue Moon, and what are we going to do? Put $5 in the pot?
Yeah.
In the winnings?
Yeah.
We will add $5 out of the main pot into your winnings for this year.
Only your winnings, because
yours.
If you text somebody else and blah 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 blah, only your winnings.
Right. We'll get $5 into the pot It'd be like winning a $5 free board bet for saying this 45-minute video. Just direct message one of us, Blue Moon, and I will go add that to the finance pages.
Cool.
All right?
All right.
All right, fellas. Y'all have a good night. May the best man win. This has been Shane Littleton and Zach Elbers, co-commish 1 and 2.
Peace out.